started here. If you did something this year and helped us out, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't name everybody that helped this year, but it was an unbelievable year for us, and I firmly believe the program's in a very strong position with a huge freshman class that we had this year, and under the tutelage of Coach Stu Hamill, we saw a ton of growth, and that's encouraging to have that many freshmen come out. Maybe one of our strongest, senior classes we've had in a while. Last year and this year, 2 excellent classes leaving us, and with a great junior class right now, it's such a bright future. So without further ado, I've really got nowhere else to go. We've got such excellent kids in this program that it's fun to stick around and do this job. And under the great tutelage of Coach Stu Hamill for all these years, and before he comes up and speaks, I'd just like to thank him for the many, many years that he's given me. His beautiful wife Tracy is here, which is the parade beautiful wife. None of the rest of our wives came. So my wife's like, no, I'm not doing that, forget it. So Tracy, thank you for coming to represent you guys. Enough about that, Coach Justin Dugan.
Okay, first and foremost, on behalf of Coach Yuda and Coach Garrett, we'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to coach once again. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And before we get started talking about the individual players and the team, we really need to thank the parents of our team to start. Anytime the team has any type of success, it always starts with positive support that the parents and the fans give their players, and practices and parents watching games, every game, home, away, parents, grandparents. It was a really, really good turnout, and that helped in the positive season that we had, especially towards the end there. So parents, thank you very much. To our team, when we set out in the beginning, we had certain goals that we wanted to reach. And even though we didn't reach our main goal, which was to win the Ring Honda League, when you step back and look at the season on a whole, from beginning to the end, the ups, the downs, the one thing this team did do is grow as a team. Individual players got better. They started to learn team baseball. And we had to move some guys around, try different pitchers, different guys in the lineup. Certain guys that maybe weren't getting good playing time in the beginning, all of a sudden earned their way into the lineup and got their playing time. And we really did grow as a team, and you saw that in the win-losses towards the end of the season as opposed to the beginning, stats and everything else with that. So even though we didn't win league, we got to look back on the season. We grew, we got better, and that's what it's all about. So to you guys, great season. Okay, we'll call each player up individually, and once we get through all of them, then we'll do the individual awards that the players voted on. This first player here, he's one of our utility players in the outfield, and had in the beginning with practices, missed a couple practices due to some illnesses, and once we got him out there, got him 100%, got him on the mound, which is where his home is. That's where his home's going to be for the next 3 years. He really did the job for us. Stepped up as one of our main guys. We knew we could put him on the mound, and we'd have the chance to win any game when he's on the mound. His biggest game of the season, over there against our rivals, against Monrovia, away, against the rough crowd, and almost shut him out. 9-1 victory through the full game, complete game. That's Chris Brown. Okay, this next player Again, coaches and I, we sat him down and talked to him in the beginning, and we explained to him that we were going to have a big team this season. 19 players, you usually don't find 19 players on a high school baseball team. But we explained to him that we're going to have 19, but we wanted him to be part of the team, and we wanted him just to get the experience of the day in, day out baseball, practicing the high school style baseball, in order so that he can grow from that, play in the off season, get better, improve, and come out and really make a difference next year. And when we gave him the at-bats and we got him the playing time, he really showed us that he's right there battling with everybody else. That's Clint Clemenson. Okay, this next player, as I'm going to mention a few times with talking with everybody, he was a player that wasn't getting the playing time that he probably thought he deserved in the beginning. And as we told everybody, in baseball, if you hit, you're going to play. It's real simple. And then this guy just started hitting the ball all over the place. Finished second on the team in doubles, and just his presence every time he walks up to the plate, the whole defensive scheme changes. And when you have that kind of weapon, that's a very good thing. Not only does he swing a powerful bat, he can jam up there on the trumpet. That's Jake Furntop. Okay, the next player I want to talk about, again, one of the players we pulled aside in the beginning of the season and discussed what their role was going to be. And, again, you got a team of 19 players. With this person being left-handed, his role was going to be pitching. He came to us in the beginning and said, I can pitch, I can throw strikes, talked to him about what pitches he could throw, and told him right away, you're going to be a middle reliever, you're going to get a ton of appearances. In 28 games, I think he got 13 different appearances on the mound. And that was the role we wanted him to embrace from the get-go, and he did exactly that. Every time we needed him to go warm up, sometimes in a game with a middle reliever, you might need a pitcher to get up and start getting loose 2 or 3 times, and that can get frustrating and aggravating. He never let that bother him. When we needed to insert him, got in there, got the job done, and hopefully got good work this year so that, again, all of us, we want to improve for next year, come out and really make a difference, turn things around next year. That's Jonathan Francisco. This next player is one of the returning JV players that we were privileged to coach last year. And that being said, when you start the season, you kind of know what you're going to get. You have your anticipations and whatnot. And we knew with this player that we get a solid bat. And we were hoping that we could also get him some innings on the mound. He did exactly that for us. Played outstanding third base. Batted him in the middle of the lineup. And when we were voting for the awards, I kind of told the players. And, you got the game on the line with the winning run out of second base. As the coach, this is the guy that I want up to bat, and that's Brad Guerrero. Okay, this next player, same thing. We knew we were getting many things when we started the season. We just didn't know quite what position he was going to fill in at. And so, kind of day one, once we went into our first game, we penciled him in at second base. And he, the only word that comes to mind every time I think of it is just reliable. We know he's going to make all the routine plays. We know he's going to make some of the great plays. And he's going to come and, again, give us a reliable bat. And just day in, day out, we knew we could write him in at second base. There's not going to be any questions. We're not going to switch anybody around, anything like that. But, you know, if second base didn't work, he could probably play 7 or 8 other positions on the field as well. But our second baseman, our 2-hitter, Bobby Hubble. Okay, I always revert to the beginning of the season because that's kind of the motto in my head is where we at in the beginning and where we finished up at the end. And in the beginning, like most of you know in baseball, one of the most important positions is shortstop. And I think we tried 5 different guys at short within the first 7 games. And it just wasn't quite working. Either that particular piece wasn't working or it was taking too much away from the outfield or the corners or whatnot. And, you know, finally one of the, we should have tried him earlier, obviously. One of the last guys we tried over at shortstop. He jumped in there and did a great job as soon as we put him in there. And that kind of sealed things up. And that was kind of the turning point of our season, in my opinion. And I think it had a little bit to do with that. But once we got the defense squared away and we knew exactly who was playing what, we could focus on the other stuff. Came in, played a great shortstop, really started swinging a hot back towards the end. The last 6 games actually led the team in batting average. Our shortstop, Sergio Juarez. Okay, this next player, one of our many versatile players that can play many, many positions. And, you know, we talked to him in the beginning. We said, you're probably going to bounce around from 4 or 5 different spots. And one of those spots was catcher. He was the backup catcher on this team. And what was so nice to us as coaches is that a lot of times when you have your starting catcher and you go to give him rest and you bring in the backup, there's just a difference. You know, you're not used to it. You're always used to the starter. And with this particular player, there was no difference. There was no step back or anything. Other coaches were still afraid to run, did a great job blocking balls. And when he wasn't catching, he was playing left field, right field, center field. I think we had him at first base a couple times. Again, one of those players that could probably play all 9 positions. That's Angel Lopez. This next player got a little bit of a late start to the season due to some illnesses, and it's kind of a guessing game. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? And once we heard he was going to, once he got out there in practice, just gave a whole new look to the team. Kind of made everybody step up one level of competition because now nobody could rest easy. He was out there and he was ready to take your position. And this is the one guy, when you talk about versatility, again, guys that can play 9 positions, I think he did. I think he played 8 of the 9 positions throughout the season. Bounced back and forth, infield, outfield. Pitching is probably where he helped us the most. Him and Brownie were kind of our 1-2. And he had some great games, including that one over there in La Quijada, CG. And solid bat in the lineup, led the team in doubles. That's Rudy Martinez. Okay, this next player, similar story to Rudy. Beginning of the season, we didn't quite know we were going to have him, and all of a sudden we heard, oh, you know, he's coming to Temple City, and a pleasant surprise it was. Anytime you can add his glove into the lineup, you know, his pitching in particular, his bat, any coach is going to jump on that right away. led the team batting average with a .460 batting average, and just did an overall great job. Really filled in on the mound for us as well, and I think maybe found a new home in center field as far as being an outfielder the rest of his career. I don't know, we'll see. That's Brandon Olson. Okay, this next player, going back to the first week of practice, me and him kind of got to talking a little bit, and I could see he was going to be one of those players that is going to bring a lighter side to practice. He's going to bring, he's going to bring a little bit of comedy. He's always going to be there to crack a joke at the right time without interfering, and every team needs that. You can't always just be serious, and this particular player brought that to the table. I knew that he could lighten things up when we needed, and played third base, and obviously you heard the good things I said about Brad and playing third base, so I talked to him and said, hey, we're going to need to learn some other positions, and really took to playing the outfield. And the coaches and I we were just talking about this the other day, is we could see him maybe rolling in and being the center fielder next year. Did a great job in the outfield defensively towards the end, started swinging the bat, showing that power that he has, and looking forward to a great season next year. It's Rusty Romero. Okay, again, another role player on our team. One of the guys we talked to in the beginning and kind of said, with 19 players, we're going to need you to do this, this, and this. And again, being a lefty, we were going to utilize him pitching as much as we possibly could. And we told him, you might get a start here or there, but the majority of your playing time is going to be some middle relief, kind of getting warmed up, spur of the moment, mid-game, and maybe bring you in to face some left-handed batters. And he really did a great job of that. Again, looking ahead to next year, I think this might be a guy that can jump into the starting lineup and maybe start in one of the outfield spots. And when I give him the chance to swing the bat daily, he can hit the ball a little bit as well. But where we used him the most and where he was most valuable to us was pitcher. That's left-handed specialist, Russell Reichman. This next player, one of our utility players, and in the beginning when he was trying out, I kind of told the story to the boys earlier. Couldn't quite get a read on him. Couldn't tell how serious he was, how much he wanted to play or whatnot. And we decided to keep him because I knew that there was a big upside there, seeing him play in the past. And once we got things going, did everything we asked and then some. Did everything we asked on the field, did everything we asked off the field, and really was kind of your model athlete. And all the coaches included, we've already talked to him about this, but very, very appreciative in what he brought to the team as a whole. And kind of made our jobs a little bit easier, and when we could get him playing time, there's nothing more that we like because he couldn't have earned it anymore. That's Robert Sanchez. Okay, again, going back to the beginning of the season, I had not known this player, I had not seen this player play, but all that I was told is that we got a pretty good player, pretty good defensive player, can really swing the bat, and kind of struggled there towards the beginning and the midpoint. But again, as a coach, nothing makes you more proud than when you see a player, maybe struggle a little bit, and then all of a sudden practice, work hard, start swinging the bat, and earn all that playing time back. And this player did that more than anybody. I know he was unhappy with his playing time in the middle, and like I said, he just batting practice, lots of work on his own with his hitting instructor, and really started swinging it well about the last 12, 15 games, and earned that starting spot back and never left the lineup. One of our better hitters, Jonathan Scott. Okay, this next player, another returning JV guy, and watching him grow, not only this year, as I say, beginning of the season to the end of the season, but just last year. Last year was his first year playing baseball. And to go, being 14, 15 years old, have a year and a half of baseball under your belt, and then to me saying right now, probably our best defensive outfielder that we have, that says a lot. And really glad he stuck with it, came back and played baseball this year. Got some decent playing time, and I just look and I think how much he progressed in a year and a half, 2 years, and what's going to happen in a whole nother year. So I hope he comes out and tries out, and I'm looking forward to seeing the progression that he makes in another year. That is Derek Shim. Okay, this next player, I had a chance to watch him play and hit when he was in Little League, and now all of a sudden he's in high school. So the question that we had when I talked with the coaches is he going to be able to hit high school pitching? And I remember, the week one, Coach Bacon saying, hey, get this guy in the lineup, get him playing time. He's a hitter, he's a hitter. And it was a little slow at first, and then all of a sudden, this one game we put him up there and said, hey, be as aggressive as you can. Hit a double to the right side, and that was that. Kind of stayed in the lineup since then, whether it was in right field, left field, did a lot of DHing for us, but knew his role and knew what he was on the team for. It wasn't, to run bases or play shortstop. It was to hit, and he did exactly that. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Second on the team in batting average, 420, I believe. Andrew Soto. Okay, this next little guy here, another returner to the JV squad. And again, when they're a returner, we kind of know what we're getting. What I didn't know is that he was going to bring a whole new gear when it comes to his defensive position, which is first base. We knew that we were going to get a solid pitcher on the mound. We knew that we were going to get a big bat to put in the cleanup spot. But then he came and battled for first base, and really, really stepped up his game defensively. Making diving plays and, picking balls in the dirt. And for a big fella, sometimes, diving is kind of hard, but he did it with ease this year. And just, again, talking with the coaches, the one thing that stuck out in our mind was his defense. Not to mention his bat. Had a big grand slam versus, was that Blairbo? Our first baseman, Bobby Soto. Okay. Again, another returning JV player that we had last year. And last year he was the backup catcher. And we told him, work on it, get better, get stronger, get quicker. And next year come, start, do the whole nine. Lead the team in hits. Go win the MVP, throw every run around the league, all that stuff. And Tony did everything he could to accomplish all that. Came in, was our catcher from day one. And not only the catcher, but I kind of put added weight on his shoulders by making him the leader. I said I wanted him to be the coach on the field and lead the team on and off the field. And he couldn't have done a better job. Leading the team on the field, led the team in hits, led the team in stolen bases, led the team in RBIs as a leadoff guy. and obviously an outstanding defensive catcher, but more so where he benefited the team was with his leadership skills. Anytime we had to do anything, practice, running, our mild warm-ups, if we had punishment laps, anything like that, 9 times out of 10, Tony would finish first. And I think that goes with, leading by example. Anthony Valencia. Okay, last but not least, this next player. Again, one of the guys we pulled aside in the beginning and kind of talked to him about playing time and told him he was going to be a role player and what role we wanted him to play. And he did a great job on and off the field. One of those, another guy where you ask him to do something or if something needs to be done, there is no asking him. He just automatically jumps up and does it. And probably didn't get the playing time that he would have liked this year, but I've talked with him, and one thing he's prepared to do, which says a lot for him and his character, is put in the work in the off season, come and try out, and hopefully make the team and get great playing time next year. That's John Wadkey. Okay, players can sit.